There is a camera bolted inside the footwell of the number 88 Chevrolet, and what it is capturing is something the rest of the NASCAR Cup garage has never seen and cannot replicate. Joey Logano tried it at Watkins Glen, bailed inside one practice session. Austin Cindric flew to Adelaide specifically to learn it, still cannot execute it under race pressure, and Ross Chastain, SVG's own Trackhouse teammate, admitted something that stopped the entire paddock cold. But here is what nobody has fully explained yet. It is not just a braking technique. It is not just a shifting quirk. What Shane van Gisbergen is doing inside that footwell is so deeply wired into his nervous system that even drivers holding his own telemetry data cannot reverse engineer it. And before this is over, you will understand exactly why NASCAR itself may be forced to make a decision that changes the sport permanently. Stay with this, because the twist nobody saw coming is not about the technique. It is about where it works next. To understand why SVG's footwork is so extraordinary, you first need to understand what normal looks like in NASCAR. The next-gen car, introduced in 2022, runs a 5-speed sequential gearbox. Sequential means you do not need a clutch to change gears. The dog box does the rest. Bang it up, bang it down. After the green flags start, the clutch pedal is essentially a footrest. Every American in the field, Hamlin, Larson, Byron, Bell, left foot brakes, right foot stays glued to the throttle. Clutch pedal ignored entirely. Clean, efficient, 2 pedals, 2 feet, job done. That is the modern NASCAR way. Then in August 2023, Shane van Gisbergen walks into his Cup debut at the Chicago Street Course. Pouring rain, street course, he wins it. The broadcast cuts to the footwell camera, and the entire American paddock collectively chokes on its sweet tea. Because SVG is not left foot braking. He is performing a ripper pedal dance. Right foot rolling off the throttle, blipping the gas with the side of his shoe, left foot stabbing the clutch, brake pedal being worked simultaneously. The classic heel and toe downshift. In a car that does not need a clutch. In a series where nobody has done it in 15 years. Here is the loop to hold on to. The clutch pedal is the secret, but it is not the secret you think it is. Everyone assumes he is using it to shift smoother. He is not. He is using it for something else entirely, something he learned at the mountain. We will get there. SVG himself went on the Dale Jr. download and told Dale Earnhardt Jr. that people are overthinking it, that in the next-gen car he technically does not even need to do it. So why is every team's data analyst still staring at his clutch trace trying to figure out what he is doing? In a supercar, the kind SVG drove to 3 Bathurst 1,000 wins and 3 championships, you have a locked rear differential. Under brakes, that locked diff means the rear tires want to skip, hop, and lock up because they are physically tied together. To make the car rotate, supercars drivers run an obscene amount of rear brake bias. Fair dinkum. Way more than any NASCAR setup would ever tolerate. Too much rear bias combined with a locked rear axle under heavy braking means the rear brake's loose. The car wants to spin on you. The solution is the clutch feather. Dip the clutch in. Disconnect the engine from the rear wheels for a fraction of a second, right at the apex. The rear stops trying to murder you. Then, as you turn in, the clutch comes back out and the engagement helps the car rotate. The drivetrain reload pulls the nose into the corner. That right there is the technique he has brought to NASCAR. The next-gen car runs an open diff. SVG does not technically need the clutch trick here. He even said, people overthink it. Classic Kiwi understatement. But watch the data. Every team has access to NASCAR's SMT telemetry system. He is still using it, that micro disconnect under brakes, that hundredth of a second where the engine is not fighting the rear axle, is letting him do something nobody else can do. He is protecting his tires. And this is where the rivals start losing sleep. Knowing what he does and physically doing it yourself are two completely different problems. Connor Zilisch, the 19-year-old rookie chasing SVG hardest, described it with precision. You never see him slipping tires. There's times where, like out of turn 6 into turn 7, everybody else is getting to wide open, and he's not even getting to wide open. Just little things like that where he doesn't push the car beyond what it needs to be pushed. 30 laps later, when everyone else's rear tires are cooked, SVG simply clicks, goes, and disappears. The rivals have the data. They know what he is doing. They literally cannot make their feet do it under pressure. Denny Hamlin stated plainly, "I just don't see anyone coming up the ranks volunteering to learn that style and stick with it." Kyle Larson said if SVG figures out the ovals, he will be dominant. A Cup champion saying that about a road course specialist from New Zealand. Logano said, "It'd take me forever to learn that. We've just got to do it in our way." Chastain admitted, "My feet are on the wrong pedals when I do it his way. It's just muscle memory." Byron called the Chicago dominance a little embarrassing and conceded, "I think our setups have evolved, but he'll still be good." Shane van Gisbergen never planned any of this. He had won 3 Supercars championships and 3 Bathurst 1000s and signed a contract extension intending to race until he was 45. Then Supercars switched to the Gen 3 model and the platform did not suit him. NASCAR veteran Boris Said gave SVG a glowing recommendation to Trackhouse racing owner Justin Marks, who was building Project 91 to showcase international stars. In April 2023, while attending the Australian F1 race in Melbourne, SVG received a call from Justin Marks confirming he would race Chicago. "And then my life's taken a 180 since," he said. He won on debut in the pouring rain. Months later on a media tour, he visited the Art Institute, Navy Pier's Centennial Ferris wheel, and attended opening day at Wrigley Field, his first ever MLB game. "I've never seen buildings that big and close to each other before," said the man from Auckland. Chicago Street Race President Julie Giese confirmed, "He has a fan base in Chicago." His debut earned him a place in a new NASCAR Hall of Fame exhibit. "To have something like that here after my first race, it's pretty hard to put that into words," he said. He now rents a house in Mooresville, North Carolina. "I'm loving my racing and loving the challenge of all new tracks, new people, new cars every week." A man who had no intention of coming to NASCAR has become the sport's most technically sophisticated road course driver. That is not a storyline anyone scripted. Some dismissed Chicago 2023 as a fluke. Sonoma was called a flash. Watkins Glen was blamed on the weather. Then in 2025, SVG won 5 of 6 road course races: the Charlotte Roval, the Glen, Mexico, Sonoma, and Chicago again, rocketing to equal third on the all-time NASCAR road course win list. But here's what nobody is saying loudly enough. That same technique works on a short oval. Martinsville, Richmond, Phoenix in the playoffs. Corner entry matters on every one of those tracks. Tire management over long green flag runs is the entire game. SVG recorded his first top 10 on an oval at Kansas in 2025 and backed it up the following weekend with a Roval win. The progression is real. Behind closed doors, conversations are happening about whether SVG's clutch usage is technically within the spirit of the rulebook. The clutch was never designed to be a performance tool in the next-gen car. It was designed to launch the car and then sit there. Could NASCAR regulate it? Mandate clutch pedal lockouts after launch, as some sports car series have done? It sounds wild, but it has been whispered. Protect the tires, rotate the car mechanically, save the engine, attack on the restart. That is not a road course skill. That is a racecraft skill. And it travels. Watkins Glen to Martinsville is a smaller leap than the American media wants to admit. And then there is the rivalry making everyone lean forward. SVG versus Connor Zilisch, a 36-year-old three-time champion against a 19-year-old rookie from karting and Trans Am. At the Chicago Xfinity race, both drove for JR Motorsports under co-branded Red Bull and WeatherTech liveries. Zilisch started 35th after crashing in practice and fought to the lead by lap 38. SVG, restarting 19th while battling a cool shirt malfunction, hunted him down. On the final two-lap shootout, SVG moved Zilisch wide in turn 1, bounced him off the wall, and won. Zilisch responded, "By no means does he have to leave the room. I expected it, but I won't expect it next time." 1 week later at Sonoma, SVG took pole. The pair combined to lead 70 of 79 laps. On the final lap, SVG's front bumper made contact with Zilisch in turn 7. Zilisch wheel-hopped but held on. SVG tried to cross to the inside at turn 11. Too late. Zilisch won by 0.438 seconds. SVG said, "I gave him a bump into turn 7, and he wheel-hopped, and I probably could have taken it, but I just waited. I didn't want to do it like that." Zilisch replied, "I learned a lot racing around him. He's got so many years of experience on me that I can learn from." Zilisch does not use the heel-toe technique at SVG's level, but he understands the tire management philosophy intuitively. The question is whether natural talent can close the gap that a lifetime of muscle memory built. That answer is still being written. A 36-year-old from Auckland, three-time Bathurst winner, three-time Supercars champion, is calmly walking into the most American motorsport on the planet and rewriting what the technique manual looks like. Logano cannot copy him. Cindric flew to Adelaide and still cannot copy him. Chastain's feet will not cooperate. Hamlin says no young American is going to bother learning it. NASCAR handed SVG an unfair advantage by accident when they built a next-gen car with a clutch pedal nobody else knows how to use. This is the Kiwi takeover, and it is only getting started. This channel is brand new and every single subscriber genuinely moves the needle. If this breakdown gave you something real, please hit like and subscribe. It costs nothing, and it means everything as we work toward 1,000 subscribers. Drop a Kiwi in the comments if you reckon SVG wins on a proper oval this year. Not a roval, a real oval. Phoenix, Martinsville, Richmond, your pick. And here's the question that matters. Should NASCAR regulate SVG's clutch technique, or should the American drivers simply be forced to learn it? That debate belongs in the comments. Next week, we are breaking down the one corner at Sonoma where SVG's data shows he is losing 0.2 to Zilisch, and what it means for the 2026 title fight. Cheers, team. Trackline out.